Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy djfreshvince of the Mix Lab. And if you've always been wondering how do you start becoming a DJ, well, I got your hookup right here. Welcome back. This is the Mix Lab with DJ Fresh Vince, and thanks for tuning in. And if y'all been wondering how do you start becoming a DJ, well, I'm just here to help you out. So let's learn together, you know? Bada bing, bada boom, you know what I mean? But before we continue, go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet. Also, smash that like button, get the notification bell if you want to get notified for new videos that are coming up. And let's continue. Key elements of becoming a DJ. First, question yourself on this. Do you really want to be a DJ? And why? Ask yourself that question. I mean, that's one of the things, and that's something you gotta really decide on. Basically, just decisions. Make a decision. Do you really want to be truthful to yourself? Ask yourself that question. That way you don't just jump into it just because, like, spur of the moment, you know? Because that, you just do it spur of the moment, or just because for shits and giggles, you know, that's just it's just a recipe for failure. Plain and simple. The next thing you want to do is ask yourself, what style and type of DJ do you really want to be? Like, I want to be hip-hop DJ, or EDM DJ, or jazz DJ, or polka DJ. Do you really want to be? Do you want to be like a career DJ, which a lot of us do? You know, we want to be have it for a long run. Or are you going to be as a hobby DJ and do like a bedroom DJ? Like, I'm in my room DJ. Yeah. Do you want to be? Do you want to just do a side thing, make mix CDs, mix tapes, put stuff online, be a social media drama queen, or are you looking for the money? Are you doing it for business? That's another thing too. You do it for business, or you want to do it for mobile DJing, which a lot of us do. A club DJ. You want to be a club. You want to do this in the club, rock it on the ones and twos, or do you want to be a battle DJ? Do you want to do some competitions and scratch it up against a lot of the world's finest, you know? Or you want to do in production, making beats, and being part of a band or a hip hop duo or something, or do what I do and just stay well-rounded and just learn the craft from many angles. You know, just stay well-rounded. You don't have to define yourself to be one genre or one style. I mean, just learn the craft entirely. Then you can narrow down what you want to do, because it's a big industry. You know, it's small to some degree, but it's really big if you know think about it. Yeah, so there's many ways. You just gotta narrow down on what you want in areas you want to do and focus on that, or just take the whole pie. All right, next element. You want to buy gear or rent/borrow. That depends on your budget too, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, nowadays there's a lot more options to choose from when buying equipment. Compared to when I started, there wasn't that many options to do. So, but either way, there's got to be a way to get started by buying your own equipment. And again, like I said, it all depends on the budget. Start you off with a simple controller. That's probably the most easiest way to doing it. Personally, if you ask me, I like to learn from the true raw form of DJing, and that's like right here, like the ones and twos. Just start from the basics, start from the essentials. You just need deck 1 and deck 2, and by that what I mean by that, you want to play at least 2 sources of music, and a lot of times controllers do provide that. They have their own internal mixer. It's all in one. It connects to your laptop. Oh yeah, that's another thing too nowadays. You can get a laptop, and that depends on your budget. Like I said, if you got deep pockets, hey, by all means, go for it. If you don't mind buying the best of the best, getting the equipment, get top-notch turntable, mixer, laptop, or just simply going basic controller, you really, bare minimum essentials is what you're trying to go for and how to get started, because you can build from there. And yeah, now next thing is really break it down from what I just discussed, is like the stuff, what basic things you need to get is equipment. Yeah, and if you do that, I made a little list here. So yeah, so players and a mixer, or controller. So what I mean by that, you can do 2 CDJs, for example, 2 CDJs, 2 turntables. So they're those are 2 players. So you're playing 2 sources of music, and simultaneously. Now we can mix from each other back and forth, going one song to the next, etc., etc. And then you got mixer, the thing in the middle. Yeah, the thing in the middle. And nowadays you probably want to get one that has an internal interface inside it that's compatible to Serato software or Vinyl or a Tractor or whatever software you can be using. And that will lead me to my next option, which is controller, where you don't have to do all that route. You can do the simple route, because this is more budget friendly. Although, don't get me wrong, you still would like sometime in your career learn other types of equipment to DJ on, because it's best to learn from the essentials. Because it's best to learn, because it's good to learn from the fundamentals. Learn fundamentals and plus be versatile on your craft. So that way it helps you out. But the controller is probably the most budget friendly if you want to get started, and there's many choices nowadays. Music source, and by music source I mean it could be all your music in the computer, in the hard drive. It could be simply just vinyl and CDs, depending on your options here. And then of course don't forget headphones. You need to hear what you need to mix, listen to what you're listening to before you put it out there for everybody to listen to. Or just for like you're mixing and practicing at home, you want to keep it quiet, just want to put the headphones. But all DJs, a real DJ need a headphone or use headphones. Just keep that in mind. And cables, don't forget cables and wires, proper ones that needed to connect everything together, put things in place. Make sure they're working functionally, and make sure that they're the right ones, right connections as well. And then optional is microphone. Really, I mean, you really don't need it, but depending on what you're doing, you might want to, if you get really into it, if you're really vocal, you want to make shout outs, or you want to like beatbox or making announcements or whatever it is. It's good, it's key. It's like just get a simple microphone, and depending on where it takes you, you might need it later in your DJ career. So yeah. Now, the next element I want to get to is music knowledge, history, terms, music theory. And what I mean by that is knowing your music. Simply just know your music, know other music that are out there, explore other types of music that you may not even like. Or just know the history of music, basically. Because that's really important when becoming a DJ. You gotta know your music from the past to the present, and knowing what's new, knowing what's that's been that had legacy that got music to where it's at, because that really influences you as a DJ if you're really doing it for a career. Because there's DJs that don't really care too much about it, and because they're really just doing it for the money, and they're just doing it temporarily, and they just go by what's on the charts. But that's not the smartest way of doing things, because you really want to become a DJ because you love music, and that's probably the common thing a lot of us DJs have, is we have love for music, and we know some history about it. And so knowing your history of music is definitely a key element that's needed to be a DJ. And knowing the terminology, well, I mean, my terminology is like some words and in the music business, and even terminology when it comes to DJing, like equipment wise, technical, the specs, really you just gotta want to kind of get the lingo of things and what people are talking about. And music theory, that is really just knowing the how music is formed, created. It's something what a lot of songwriters and singers and musicians, what they know, it's what they learn about. It's like the fundamentals of music, like the bars, the measures, and knowing BPMs and the tempos of staying in key. And there's so many to learn from. So the more you add to your arsenal in your mind, the better you get as a DJ, because it definitely helps, because music theory is something that will help you to do more creative things as a DJ. And knowing your music history especially helps you with your track selection and finding the gems and throwing on some good mixes and good song selection when you're at a gig, and it'll definitely help you, trust me. So, music knowledge. Alright, next element to become a DJ is two things. It's talent and skill set. And that's something really that can be just bought at the store, at the magic shop, or it's something that really can't be taught per se, because talent is, it's something that you either have or you don't. Do you have the talent to do, just like anything? Do you have a talent to do something, like something specific? So you'll know when you ask yourself, do I want to become a DJ? Do I really want to do this? And as it goes more and more, do you really have a talent for it? You'll know, trust me. So talent and skill set. Skill set is like, it's more of a technical term. It's more of something you taught yourself. You learn how to do something specific, and you after learning and practicing and just pushing for it, you start having these skills and how to make things work and how to operate something. And especially when you're DJing, you want to learn how to operate equipment and how to use it and learn about it, and take on new things that come towards you, and you apply to what you learn, and you apply to something you don't know, and that's developing your skill set, and then at the same time having talent with your creativity. So that's something that's it's not easily obtained, but it's something that's really an elements actually that's needed to become a DJ, a successful one especially. And for part of my last couple of elements of being a DJ, to become a DJ, that's really needed, not really discussed, but is this: passion and inspiration. Because that's something, if you're doing it for a DJ career and be successful at it, no matter what it takes, passion and inspiration is probably the most important key element to start to become a DJ. Even if you don't have the equipment yet, or you're in the process of buying it or learning your craft, but having the passion inspiration is probably the most prized possession to have to become a successful DJ, because if you don't have those, you'll get those moments where there's a lot of up and downs in life, you know, like, or struggles and obstacles you may face as in a career, any career really. But you know, if you have the passion or your inspiration, because it's what drives you to continue no matter what. And it's something that's like, I guess it's something soulful.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's something you gotta have a soul to be a DJ. That's even better. Thanks for watching. If you find this useful for yourself, please go ahead and like the video, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell for some more videos, and that way you're aware of what's coming up next. And share it with your friends and family who may need this information. It's probably the first stepping stones in getting started, just before we get technical. And I'll drop more videos about that, of how to do certain things, how to buy equipment, how to get how to make a mix and so forth, and how to set things up. This is my 2 cents. So if you find it useful, I hope you like it, and feel free to follow me for some more videos. All right, thank you.